Hello friends, family and other creatures of the sea, and welcome back to an epic game between Spirit and young Yakov. Now actually known as Yakov. I was speaking with him the other day. He's an up-and-coming Zerg player, and I was talking with him a while ago actually. And he said, I'm not young Yakov anymore, I turned 21 now. You can call me old Yakov. And I said, maybe you're just regular Yakov for now, alright? To me, you're still young. If 21-year-olds are going to call themselves old right now, then while I'm pushing 30, then is not feeling great, let me tell you. Not feeling great. So regular Yakov over here is taking on Spirit, who, as some of you might not know, but is a phenomenal player to watch. Spirit is... Because Spirit has a very peculiar style of StarCraft 2. Spirit has found the optimal way of doing nothing in every single game. And it is a treat to watch him do nothing for long periods of time, while other people are trying to, kind of poke at him. Spirit is like this very powerful bear. He's in a cave and he doesn't really need to go out. And outside is like the opponent, it's like throwing stones and poking him with a stick, trying to damage the bear. And he's like just yawning. He's like, yeah, back to napping again. And then eventually he'll like take you out in one fat slash. And if you poke him too much, maybe you can, you can maybe provoke him enough to follow you a little bit, but it is very freaking difficult. Spirit here is moving out with a weird little setup. Look at that. Marine, Reaper, Hellion. And she's going to use this to push back the Overlords. This is something I haven't actually seen used before. This is going to force a lot of links to kind of come out and deal with this. Young Yakov is going to indeed, it's going to take the bait, but the bait was more expensive than what it cost young Yakov to take out the bait. 6 links to 2 Marines. I guess the links are a little bit more expensive, but that's still an absolutely fine trade here for young Yakov, because Marines, they kind of add up over time, and once you get your first 2 medevacs out, you actually want a decent Marine count. Like, they scale very nicely. So I think Yakov is going to be just fine with that. Let's take a look at what Spirit is doing behind all of this. Not going to be Mac. All of this, does not get spotted. Link doesn't quite get in. So no knowledge of the Banshee, but I think Yakov has knowledge of Spirit. And sometimes that is good enough. If you're playing against someone that you've played against a lot previously, you don't need to get the 100% confirmations on everything, right? Just knowing what that person is like might be enough. And this time we're going to go for a little bit of a Hellbat push. Yakov not ready here with the Baneling transformation. It's going to take 14 seconds. Spore is in a beautiful spot over here. Look at that. Really neat here out of Yakov as these Banelings are about to finish up. Here comes the surround. Oh, he's winning time. He's won a lot of time right now. Banshee will need to have very accurate target fire here on those Banes. 1 goes down, 2 will fall as the links get the surround and the Banelings connect with majority of the Hellbats. And this push is just going to get cleaned up. Transfuse is being used accurately and efficiently as 1 Banshee is going to fall. 2nd Banshee is being rallied in as well and might end up dying here too. Honestly, god-tier defense out of Yakov, who's going to end up losing a couple of drones at the tail end of this push. 6 drones though, and I guess 35 links for 8 Hellbats and 2 Banshees. Yakov is going to be dreaming about this defense for a little while. It's up 20 supply right now. And that is probably going to provoke Spirit to sit back and relax, is what I was going to say. But I see Barracks 6, 7, 8 already being pushed in here before the 4CC is even out. So he's going to go for the classic 8 Rex. Ling run by comes in and he's going to clear a lot of SCVs out here. This is not what Spirit had hoped for. This is the opposite of what Spirit had hoped for, because he's in a terrible spot. He is in a terrible spot. The game probably still was salvageable before this, but right now, I am not so certain anymore. 5th base already going down for Yakov as he continues spreading his creep out on the map. And this Hellbat push, it set Spirit back massively. It set him back massively, absolutely. I mean, and the 14 worker kills, they're also not brilliant. Losing the 2 Banshees, I wouldn't write home about that either. Banshees actually have a really important task at home after they're done initially harassing, so losing them sucks. The role of the Banshee is to deal with what I would like to call insignificant numbers of links, or insignificant numbers of Banelings. So if someone does a Ling run by with anything below 20, 24, 26 links, 2 Banshees will take care of that in such a short amount of time that it's not worth it to go for it. So they're like an insurance policy against like dumb stuff, basically this type of stuff, like the triple base, the triple Bane run by skill checks. This is a skill check, right? theoretically, this should never work. If Spirit is fast enough, he even has a tank over here, so it's still not going to work. But imagine there's no tank over here, then this type of stuff could be very frustrating to deal with. Spirit is very keen always on building bunker plus tank, so yeah, these skill checks, they're not even really skill checks. It's just, is this Spirit that I'm playing against, or is this brother that's taking over? And if it's Spirit, there's going to be a bunker and a tank, and you won't be capable of executing anything over here. So Spirit walked back over here to this spot. He can still just kite back to that as well. Look at that. He's going to get a lot of healing. If he snipes all those Banes, he can fight here for a long, long time. He's going to snipe quite a bit. Now he's going to unload on the high ground. Healing Shrine is it feels very weird in this matchup. Feels very weird. You can't drop right on top of it because medevacs are not allowed into the circle of love, which is this little thing over here. This is where the loving happens. That is, it looks like pluses above it, but it's just tender care for the Marines. Okay, their mental state goes up, and they're like, you know what, these drugs aren't good for us. Give me some of that yoga. They're gonna be just fine. Good splits out of Spirit. Good pre-splitting. Good movement. It's gonna hit like a truck as Yakov. Pretty low in supply, actually. 161 to 170. Not loving it, guys. Not loving it. Not loving it. Do we have a hive yet? We're on lair. We're on lair. And here comes one of those insignificant run-bys. But you have a bunker at the third base, so it's most likely not going to work. You have a setup as well in the natural. More Marines coming out. I think this is not a winning battle for Yakov. Marines are not fighting, so you might actually snipe a tank. That would be big. That is big. That is indeed big. Every tank that gets taken out pre-fight is a huge deal over here. Spirit sets up a position. This is awkward to engage into for Yakov. 2-2 isn't done yet for either player. Carapace halfway done for Yakov. He's playing a little bit sloppy here with those links. A little bit sloppy with the links. Yeah, the Atrax is so popular right now. It is so damn popular in this matchup. There's just a couple of decent nerfs. Look at this position. How are you going to clear this? It's going to be rough. It's going to be rough. These rocks need to be pre-taken out. This is a nice run-by. Or like a reinforcement killer, pretty much. It's automatically going to be setting up a flank. And that's what you want to do. Where you're killing reinforcements, you can then automatically go in for a flank and often clear positions. And that is exactly what Yakov is planning on doing. He's going to lose the 5th base. And Spirit adds his own 4th. So income-wise, we're fine. Resource lost, down about 4k. Lost a lot of links already in this game. We're only 10 minutes in. That is painful. Hive starts halfway done. As, ooh, nice attack here. Spirit is going to attack the bottom flanking army and is going to lose all of his tanks as a result. Is going to get cleaned up big time. This hit pre-2-2, just a couple of seconds before Spirit's 2-2 finished, but just as Yakov's +2 carapace finished up. And this is real nice. Burrow is like kind of an added effect here that Yakov just added in. And it's just going to make this defense a little bit easier. It's going to force more scans that are going to be used. And sometimes 2 banelings can get way more done now because of that burrow effect being here. That it really is the burrow effect. You're forced into scanning everywhere the entire time, where you're moving with more than 10 Marines at the same time. So I think here Yakov can probably snipe this one tank. That's what he's gonna do. Puff! Shoots one. The second one actually got killed in splash earlier. Otherwise 10, 20, 30 Marines here would have fallen. We don't have a flank coming in, so this is still scary. This is like a never-ending Atrax. We're 12 minutes into the game. We're still just pushing pure Marines out on the map pretty much. We're still purely defending with Hydra Ling Bane. I'd love to see one Viper being added. Just a single one. We don't need more than that. As a 5th base is about to finish up on the far left. 77 workers to 73. The resource lost is still 5k in favor of Spirit. But Spirit is still being outmined as well. So supplies are going to be pretty much even here at the end. I'm imagining Carapace would start pretty soon. Look at the cash in the bank here for Yakov. Does not have a lot of larva though. He's gonna start seismic spines. He has a lot of cash for expensive units. He's gonna go for lurkers here. Just a single tank is pretty much holding this position. We have an attack on the far left as well with the 4 marauders in it. I think this hatchery is gonna fall before the lings arrive. That is frustrating. That is painful. Viper should start because you need something to deal with these medevacs. Yes, Hydras are nice, but if they're going to be entering dead space, I would love to have something else as well. Once again, we're pushing in over here. We have 2 banelings that are burrowed, and they're going to connect despite the scan. Lurkers now can siege up, and that is going to be the end of this push forward. It's just a single tank. You can't go in there. We still have the drop on the high ground, though, as Spirit being way more aggressive than I gave him credit for at the pre-game analysis, pretty much. I thought we were going to see a very patient, slow game, but Spirit, no, he opened up aggressively, and now we're going into the patient, slow Spirit. Now that he's ahead, he says, hey, you know what? I have 5 base already. Let's see if I can take both of them at the same time. 4 and 5 here, 13 minutes into the game. Double medevacs are going to get cleared, and we're now going to get a period of, I don't want to say Zerg dominance, but where Zerg has an army that is probably a little bit better in a pre-setup fight. So the Terran can't engage into the Zerg right now, and it means that Zerg can try and do something out on the map. He's going to clear this tank, he's moving out with these Lurkers. We have changelings on the left, and this guy is going to be real important for us. Okay, we're going to keep an eye on him. We're absolutely going to keep an eye on him. But we're going to keep an eye on this attack. Ooh, he's very, very eager to just walk in this position. I mean, Lurker count is good, but walking into tank positions like that can be scary. So far, though, honestly, a fine-ish trade. Yakov does need to be careful that he starts hitting an objective soon, because he's lost a lot of supply and hasn't achieved anything yet. Nidus should go up in the main base soon, too. Triple Vipers coming in. We have the... Do we have +3 carapace? Still no +3 carapace. Yikers. It's going for attack upgrades first. Nidus comes down. I mean, Spirit will just be KBF. He just had a production cycle finishing up, so that's kind of fortunate for him. But, I mean, Terran production cycles are really quick. You always run the risk of walking into one as a Zerg player when you're trying these Nidus strategies. So yeah, that's not going to work. 6 more Lurkers on the way as well. Drone count is growing once more, but it's growing very, very slowly. What's our Lurker count actually? We're 14. I mean, that's serious. Attack on the 3rd base. This is a tank position and a half, isn't it? It's over here. Covers a lot of area. Spirit actually doesn't have any tank siege up right now, and this base is in some trouble. So this is the first cracks are starting to show for Spirit. He had a crappy early game, but after that he played, I don't want to say flawless, but he played damn good StarCraft 2. Now I have an attack over here coming up on the right side. We have what? No Ghost. 3 tanks versus 3 Vipers and 7-8 Lurkers. I think with some decent Blinding Cloud usage, you can probably just push this. Gonna get abducts instead, so he wants to go for the kill. That is scary. That is scary. Rather than negating damage, you want to kill. And I lost quite a bit moving in there. Not sure what happened on the left side, but this push has also been cleaned up. Lurker count was at 14, now is at 8. That is awkward as hell. That is awkward as hell. 87 drones versus 71. Spirit now feels comfortable enough to start moving out. He builds a bunker here. What the hell? I mean, that is a way to deal with this type of stuff. It really is. Is it a good way? I don't even know. I don't even know, as this hatch is gonna get blasted. Eaten alive here by the tanks. No cancel on that. 180 supply to 194. Spirit's army is very good. 14 Ghost, 5 tanks. 9 Marauders, 17 Marines. Let's go, baby. Couple of snipes here before the fight starts. No, it's gonna allow them to burrow. This base is toast, though. We get a... is this significant? It is an okay run by. We'll give this run by some credit, won't we? Tank can actually shoot over the wall at this Nidus. You see, Yakov really wants the Nidus to stay alive, because that's his one chance he can have to go across the map, deal some counter damage. He's actually gonna go for a full base trade here. Full Lurker base trade. Nidus is gonna get cleared. This bunker is going to stay alive as well. This is so freaking unfortunate. We have a couple of Lurkers that stay home to deal with this push, right? And then here comes the full-on base trade. 1 tank goes down. 2nd tank here is just gonna get taken out as well. And we're now in base trade territory. Lurkers at home got cleared, no problem. And this is the return home button, by the way. This is not an aggressive Nidus. He wants to be capable of kind of ferrying these Lurkers in between his attacking position and his defensive position. And he's probably going to need to do that pretty quickly with a couple of Lurkers if he wants to survive. He's going to instantly siege the production. That's a big deal. We have 2 Marauders in this bunker, actually working out pretty well on this type of defense. Can we get some extra Lurkers in the mix? I think that's really the only thing that's going to matter here. What is our Ghost count at? I'm not seeing them anymore. 15 Ghosts, they all went home. Oh, they all went home. They said, hey, we can probably deal with this by ourselves. And I think they might be right. I think they might just be right. Okay, here we go. We have 2-3 Lurkers in position to deal with this. Overseer's moving too far back. This is going to get cleaned up. Spirit is still splitting off towards the left side as well. We have a right side base that is going to start mining. We have a Hydra Ling attack over here. I think I could be wrong, but I think Yakov might just be dead. He does not have a whole lot of mining. His lurker count is only at 2. He's gonna try to clear this little force. Well, it's not really a little force. I wonder if he can get the right medevacs. Does he remember? Like a game of memory. Well, gets one bad one, one good one. Completely normal. Rebuilding 3 bases at the same time. I mean, this army count is worrisome right now. This income is worrisome. And this is one of the issues when you play against Terran, is that once you get in these situations, but you didn't kill the orbitals, you didn't kill the production. Yeah, even if they have 50, 30, 20, 9, I don't... Like, right now, Spirit could have 20 workers and he'd still be outmining his opponent significantly. Because he has bases and he can drop mules at a very high pace. So, this is just the reality that you need to deal with as a Zerg. We're seeing triple Lurker coming in. We still have 15 Ghosts as well. It's not like this is some crappy force that Spirit has created. No, Spirit has a serious army here. He's a serious competitor with a serious army. This is not run buyable. This is not run buyable. This is not run buyable. So dealing any type of economic damage is going to not just be hard, it's going to be near impossible in my mind. And whenever we have these types of setups, I'm always kind of thinking to myself, like, hey, what would be the kind of the magic solution here? How are we getting back into this game? Oh, so predictable. Spirit knows just what you're thinking here, Yakov. You can see in your mind. He saw those 3 lurkers over here and already pre-positioned the ghost up there. Good thinking out of the Polish Terran player. He's now gonna drop some marauders to the far left. Maybe just go into his main base, make sure there's no Nidus. I guess, like, Nidus is a way to deal with this, you know? I could see that. You get a good fight and a Nidus and you kill. So, I think the plan should be, for Yakov, is to max out and then take the fight to Spirit. Like, you can't sit there and continue getting abused. You know, you're down 12k resources lost. It ain't happening. Okay, it ain't happening. Do we have any defense here? No, we don't. Do we have any vision on the left? No, we don't. Is this a problem? Hell yeah, this is a problem. Spirit's just adding more and more CCs here, by the way. I think he probably could have pushed the issue a bit more, but Peak Spirit is just sitting back doing nothing, right? And right now we're watching Peak Spirit. This is Peak Spirit, okay. Gonna get a little bit of an attack over here. That's -2 Vipers and -1 Ghost. Also minus like 4 Overseers here. Yeah, those are not the traits that we want right now, Yakov, as his base falls as well. And Spirit is playing a very static game. No way! Oh! Jesus Christ! Good lord! That was a 5k of resources at once? 3-4k? What was that? Holy crap! And Yakov instantly goes across to try and punish it. He's still being attacked right now. Spirit realized that he needs to rebuild an army. He's like, wait, I can't go back home because he's going to kill me. I need to produce an army of equal value. Holy freaking crap. That was a crazy maneuver. I think that is the most worthwhile play I've ever seen in my life. They were sitting here. This is what I was afraid of, you know? This is what when I saw the Lurker introduced in 2016, I was like, oh my god. Gonna need to carry detection at all times, and Spirit didn't. He's gonna get cleaned up over here as well. Young Yakov. I did not imagine this as a scenario to make a comeback. This left side play, by the way, chef's freaking kiss here for Spirit. Hell yeah. A bad thing happens. What do? We counterattack. We keep our opponent busy. Actually, we're attacking on 2 angles right now. And Spirit is doing a great job at keeping his opponent back. Yakov, he crafted, out of nothing, out of thin air, he made something beautiful. But now Spirit says, you know what? Your opportunity is gone already. I have managed to rebuild the same army that you just killed. Your army still blows balls. And I'm not going to walk in the same trap another time. You probably still feel that there's some pressure on you to try and perform right now. You're not going to be capable of doing that, my friend. I am too fast, I'm too quick, I'm too good. And I'm afraid that Spirit might be right. I'm afraid Spirit might be right. We do have an attack over here. Ghost not in position. Tank not in position. Lurkers could potentially move in. We have a Ling run by on the right side. Oh, this is not done quite yet. That could be a big deal if you clear all of these SCVs. We have another fight here in the middle, of course. You should pay attention to that. Overseer's not quite in position to deal with all of it. Supplies are very close. So darn close. Planetary under some heavy fire. Not heavy enough. It's going to survive. 28 SCVs went down here. And look at the supplies all of a sudden. Orbital commands will need to jump into action with some muling right now. Oh my god. Why do I speak? Why do I speak? Of course he's gonna get into action with some muling right now. This right side base is vital. Absolutely vital. If young Yakov could clear these mules, he has a very decent chance. But if he doesn't clear these mules, let's take a look at this income, huh? 38. 4k. 4k minerals. He's doubling his opponent's income. More than doubling his opponent's income right now. So we get an attack over here on this right side. But Ghost and tanks are moving into position. And I think this is the move that pretty much seals the deal here for Spirit. Because he secures this base for the entire duration of these mules. That is 64 seconds. And that is exactly what he needed. He's once again active on the map on the right side. He's continuously scanning in front of him. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Fool me 3 times, I'm back in the lobby because I don't have money to rebuild my ghost army. Yeah, this is just phenomenal. It's continuously scanning, moving a bit forward with the Reapers. Like, hey, is there anything weird happening over here? Should I be worried? Yakov once again coming in with a sneaky little base trade over here. But I mean, we have a tank. We have 4 ghosts, which means -2 lurkers pre-fight. And we have an okay bio count as well. So, yep, there goes your high ground vision. And with that high ground vision comes the chance of ever really winning. Do we get a scan? Do we get a scan? No, we're not getting a scan. He's just kind of splitting up the ghost. Does not want to run in a line in once more. Okay, now we get the scan. Sees that there's no lurkers and he pulls in the rest of the boys. Yakov is breaking the ramp over here, but he's down so far in supply right now. Too far. As he enters the main base for a second time this game. But this time he won't be capable of stopping the unstoppable force here, really, that Spirit has on the other side of the map. So eventually this is going to get cleaned up. Not necessarily by reinforcement, but it is going to get cleaned up. And we should already... Okay, yeah, we have some force, some factories over here. We can build tanks right there. Army supplies 96 to 65. And I think there's simply too many ghosts still. Like, you can never attack into this amount of ghosts. It is not going to be possible at all. So it's 5 lurkers to 16 ghosts, 15 hydras to 16 ghosts, 6 tanks. Like it ain't happening. It ain't happening, all right? Let me tell you, it ain't freaking happening. Income is too good as well for Spirit. Like, Spirit can rebuild stuff, and Yakov can't. We have 8 barracks going up right now on the right side. We have these lurkers. They're gonna pop off as well. Gotta be feeling real good about themselves. But Spirit can just clear it. He can absolutely clear it, and it would be fine. Get another aggressive scan here. Does not want to get tricked another time by these lurkers. I think that's gonna haunt him for a little bit, you know? The next few games are gonna be way more careful with ghost movement. This is how you create Spirit, you know? A guy that does not want to move out. Finally he was active on the map, and then, you know, he walks into 9 lurkers without preemptively scanning, and this is what you get. Next game he's not moving out until he has ravens and infinite scans the entire time. Unless he has 15 orbital commands, he ain't going anywhere. Yakov is still trying, but I mean, we have 6 ghost production right now. Planetary falls. It's all great. Look, nice moves. Yakov is trying his hard. This guy has a lot of grit, but yeah, I think all the grit in the world can create a good situation out of a god-awful one. As the snipes are coming down, and Yakov on 30 supply will be forced to leave this game right about now. 2200 minerals in the bank as well. GG gets caught, and indeed Spirit wins this banger of a game.